We're also investing in the people as well in our workforce, making sure that our employees and our students have the training and the vocational skills they need, since I believe that was the reason why we were outsourcing it into different countries, since they have all these strong systems set up. And I think that's a good opportunity to bring in here. It gives us more control in the supply chain, on the security of the products and the quality as well.
Today, we're headed to Long Island, New York, where tech company Orbic has launched a bold new initiative to bring electronics manufacturing back to the United States. It's called Project Patriot, a $250 million investment that will create over 1,000 new manufacturing jobs across 4 solar-powered facilities in Suffolk County on Long Island. Our team at AAM was there at the groundbreaking and had the chance to speak with company leaders, local officials, and team members who are all helping make it happen. I also want to mention that a good companion to this episode is the conversation I had with Mike Narula, the CEO of Orbic, many months ago as this project was in its nascent stage. First up, we'll hear from Danny Adamopoulos, Orbic's Executive Vice President of Global Sales and Operations, on why this shift from Asia to America is happening and what it means for the future of high-tech manufacturing. We asked Danny what led Orbic to make this move now and how they're preparing to manufacturing rugged smartphones, wireless hotspots, and other devices in the United States.
I've been in the telco industry for 30 years. Obviously, I started in Australia. I worked for another manufacturer for many years. And I was involved in the manufacturing process there, software development, electronics, all the rest of it. And I guess like anything, you start at one point and your career takes you, through the organization, into management, into this and quality. So personally for me, it's been a great journey. It's given me a holistic experience in the industry. So we have here today, a few of the Orbic products that we'll be bringing into the mix. So we have our normal smartphone lineup here, and we have our Caterpillar products over here, which is more industrial, ruggedized, tough things like that. And we're obviously to tick some certain boxes. There's local content requirements as well to win certain government tenders. So we're bringing some of these mainstream products, into the mix, like, the hotspots, which, acts as a modem, wireless modem, so people can connect, and the devices for governmental fleet and enterprise and things like that. So these will be some of the first cabs off the rank that we bring into the US manufacturing when we start in Q1 26. A lot of these devices are already existing in the market. Some of them are just about to start their life cycle. Our Caterpillar products will, be launching by Q3 into Q4. So then, they'll be new as well, and then we'll migrate those to the US facility. These government contracts go through our great partner, Verizon. So they have a business group that sells into all these things, and we become the hardware provider. There's a desire from the current administration for made in America products. We actually started on this journey almost 2 years ago. This is not something you can just, turn on straight away overnight. There's a lot of permits required, getting the equipment that's needed. So this industrial park in Hart Park, there's a lot of doing. Pharmaceuticals is a big one. But we'll be bringing high-tech electronics as well. And then hopefully the ecosystem will grow around us as well. So, downstream suppliers, right? You've got packaging, you've got chargers, you've got, all the little components that need to go into the devices, the plastics, the injection molding. So hopefully this spurs on that ecosystem and the growth in that ecosystem. So more factories open up and then become suppliers. If you vertically integrate the whole ecosystem, it actually allows you a lot more control. You don't have to worry about parts being shipped in from other parts of the world. You can source locally, creates jobs, obviously. But obviously you can just have that overall quality control.
And how exceptional is it to have this kind of manufacturing here?
Oh, it's unprecedented. Like, it hasn't existed. And we're excited to be bringing this into it and leading the charge, so to speak. And the other good thing as well is it brings a whole new skill set, education-wise, right? And so we're partnering with a lot of the colleges, local community colleges around here, to bring in the courses and the experiences that these students need, that I guess haven't been taught before, right? Sadly, electronics and these things have kind of been pushed to the side, with with the loss of this industry or this art. And I'll say art because, electronics manufacturing is an art. And it's kind of moved offshore. Now it's great to be bringing that back and, potentially fill a room up full of people who can do this. Electronics, you're always going to need hardware and you're always going to need software. There's two parts. Now the cloud is coming in as well. So it's kind of becoming this triangle, right? So the cloud and being connected everywhere, the connectivity piece, which is where, great partners like Verizon comes in because they become the enabler for that to happen. You still need the hardware. So someone still needs to make the devices that people use and touch and feel every day. And then you've got the software guys, which are driving AI, which is driving, how things connect together and becoming the bridge between the cloud, the hardware, and the networks.
That was Danny Adamopoulos highlighting how Orbic is reshoring its production while building a local talent pipeline with community colleges and suppliers. This project is also being celebrated at the community level. For Long Island, this is more than just a factory. It's a spark for regional economic revival. We caught up with Edward Wareheim, the town supervisor of Smithtown, to hear what this project means for the broader Hopag Industrial Park and beyond.
It is a very exciting day for us in Smithtown government. As most people know, this innovation park is the second largest park in the United States of America. 15,000 employees, 1,350 businesses located here. And it has an economic output of $13 billion. Mike Narulo and Orbic, we met about 2 years ago, and we started the process of bringing manufacturing from outside of the United States right back here to the United States of America, and specifically for us, right here in the town of Smithtown. This is a great endeavor. What's important coming up with the demolition projects and the building permits necessary to make this a profitable venture, we have agreed we will make sure that we get these permits and processes completed expeditiously, because in a business like this or a project like this, time is money. Time is of the essence, especially because of the contracts that Mr. Narulo and the Orbic organization will be going after. This is going to be, I believe, like a project that will be viewed all over. And the importance of that is that we can show that you can bring manufacturing here to the United States. And again, specifically, you can bring manufacturing to this innovation park and make it successful. Well, these jobs that are coming here and talking to Orbic, they're going to be high-tech positions. And we have multiple colleges located right here, not only in Suffolk County, but across Long Island and New York City. What we have found out through investigations, many of the young professionals that want to get into these manufacturing of high-tech materials, they graduate and they come and interview for these businesses. The problem is, right here on Long Island, there is nowhere for them to live unless they're going to live with their parents. We have embarked on bringing here, specific to this innovation park, mixed-use housing, whereby a developer could come in on 7+ acres, there are 11 sites in this park, and build actual housing for these young professionals to come. They certainly can't afford to buy a half-acre single-family home, but they can come here, work, play, and live right here in the park in studio apartments or one-bedroom apartments. And that's a vital component of this entire project as well. There's vast job opportunities here, and Long Island itself, specifically Suffolk County and the town of Smithtown, it's a wonderful place for young people. We have magnificent parks, beaches, recreation facilities. So it's alive. It's places where young people would want to come and work and live. We make sure that we have constant communication, both with federal government. You saw Congressman Lalota's people were here. Senator Matara's people were here. So we constantly, on a daily basis, we do communicate with all of our elected officials, because that's important as well. If we do need assistance from a federal agency or state agency or the governor's office, we actually have the ability to call their representatives and have communications with them on a daily basis.
That was Supervisor Edward Wareheim, emphasizing the importance of bringing advanced manufacturing back to one of the largest industrial parks in the country. Next, we turn to someone who's been hands-on with the growth of this company from the inside. Eric Bowman, a project and repair supervisor at Orbic, shared his thoughts on what this expansion means for hiring, talent, and training, and what it takes to build American-made electronics from the ground up.
I mean, this expansion is significant in many different ways. I mean, starting with just Orbic, I mean, this is going to be expanding our production facility. For the first time ever, we'll have our own in-house manufacturing in the United States. We're going to be one of the first companies to actually be bringing manufacturing or electronics to the United States, which I think is a pretty big deal. And I'm hoping that maybe one day we could expand further, more facilities, both in New York, potentially out of state as well. As far as Orbic's concerned, this will be the first time that we're going to be having this many new employees coming on board. Been relatively small up until now, and we've been slowly growing, very slow paced. But once this manufacturing comes up and running, the amount of manpower we're going to need in the building is going to be quite significant. I think one of the big key points of our workforce development is actually going to be reaching out to the local communities, particular colleges, young up-and-coming people who are interested in the engineering, mechanical, manufacturing, and electronic space, getting them excited, getting them involved, and teaching them actually directly out of high school to enter the manufacturing space. I think that's one of the first places we're looking at, is to bring young people. Now, anyone who's currently in the industry, if we could bring people from abroad or even bringing locally from within the country, even if it's from out of state, I know there's a lot of big tech in California, bringing it over to New York would be a great expansion in this area. For anyone who's outside of the industry, it's always a lot of big talk, words, jargon that they don't necessarily understand, is kind of outside of their scope of daily life, other than the cell phone that they have sitting in their pocket or the laptop they have sitting in their office. They don't really understand all the work, the effort, the engineering that goes into it, the complexity of all these systems, not just designing the devices themselves and making sure that they work properly, but all the logistics involved. I mean, especially when we're dealing with manufacturing overseas, having to run those logistics. Hopefully bringing it back to the United States is going to streamline a lot of those processes, providing not only a better end user customer experience, but just a better product overall.
Can you share a little bit more? What are the big advantages of having this U.S. electronic supply chain right here?
First advantage off the top of my head is having access to not only the local economy, the local people. This kind of the skill set, the workforce that exists here, being able to work with that is really, really, really big. But the other thing too is instead of having to extend overseas communications with other companies and our vendors and our suppliers, bringing that here makes on a localized time frame a lot easier. Instead of having a phone call like 12 o'clock midnight here for 12 noon over in, say, China, for instance, being able to have quick access locally, Eastern Seaboard, or even across the U.S. and the other time zones, makes it a lot easier. I think one of the best places for people to start, honestly, if you have an interest, is online, particularly in YouTube, looking up videos of even just people tearing down devices, getting on the inner guts, because sometimes it's difficult to really visualize what might be involved until you really start seeing it firsthand. And hearing about it from reading off pamphlets, or even going to school guidance counselors who are maybe not experts in the industry, may not always be the best place. But going to local community resources, reaching out to community colleges about these type of programs, the first thing we can do is say, hey, we have this excellent opportunity here to teach you, get you leveled up on both a skill set and a mindset for working in this kind of industry. And at that point, I think you'll have a much better understanding of, is this somewhere I feel like I could be one day? Is this something I could see myself doing long term? Is this something I'm excited about?
When you talk to people about Project Patriot, it's really ambitious project, something that hasn't been done before, right? Like, this is really radically new for the United States, and hopefully going to bring more and more here. But what's the response from people in your life or friends and family that you talk to about this?
The response has actually been quite frankly fantastic. I mean, most people have no idea anything like this is going on. They've never heard about this type of thing before. And I don't just mean manufacturing, but bringing manufacturing jobs like that to the U.S. locally on Long Island. I mean, one of the first things I hear is, wow, I mean, that's not only very ambitious and a lot to do, but I mean, I can't imagine the cost, complexity, dealing with local governments, local communities, and the overall expense of the situation. But is that important to bring manufacturing, not just the U.S., but to this area, Smithtown on Long Island? Just a really fantastic opportunity for both the people here as well as us as a company. I live locally on the south shore of the island. I currently work at the Bay Shore building. And we actually were originally housed here at headquarters, but when they had to clear the floor for the manufacturing coming up, they moved us to a new building, refitted it for our needs. Everything that we asked for, we got, which is fantastic. So I'm looking forward to maybe eventually, when this is finished, potentially coming back to this building. But as far as the local community, I mean, I know we've been outreaching again to local community colleges and stuff like that, like Suffolk Academy Community College, in order to try and get training programs set up. So as soon as that we have nearing that date of completion for the manufacturing site, we'll already have a large group of people looking and eager to join us in this adventure.
Well, we love that, obviously. All right, great. Well, thank you so much for answering so many questions. Is there anything that I didn't ask that we really should talk about?
I think the only thing that comes to my mind is the competitive advantage of Orbic as a company. As a brand, Reliance is the backup company, but Orbic as the company and brand. Our competitive advantage versus a lot of our competitors is that we're small, and because we're small, it's a lot easier for us to react to changing dynamics in the industry. A lot of these large giants, talking Verizon, talking Apple, even if we're talking in the actual manufacturing space, it's very difficult for them to get on board with rapid changes and new ways of thinking because they have such a large history how they've done things. They really blazed the way and pioneered for mass manufacturing of these types of electronics. So we're looking to build upon that large lineage of expertise and advancement in the space and bring it here locally to the US, local manufacturing, and bring it to the highest standards we could possibly attain current technology and skill set we have.
And I'm sure by having a manufacturing base here, that makes you even more nimble than you would be if you were fully offshore.
Absolutely. It gives us a lot of flexibility. We're not married too heavily to a single path. We have a lot of options here, and it's really going to allow us to grow as the needs arise.
That was Eric Bowman of Orbic, offering a worker's eye view of how reshoring creates not just jobs, but meaningful careers in manufacturing. Our final voice today is Devishi Narula, Director of Operations and Innovation at Orbic. She shared her passion for building workforce pipelines, designing inclusive programs, and giving students the tools they need to thrive in high-tech careers right here at home.
We've been here for almost 30 years in Long Island, and of course, we've relied on outsourcing our electronics. There's such a great opportunity to bring it here back at home, not only so that we make our devices, higher quality and have it more accessible for students, be it people in the workforce, be it the local community as well. But we're also investing in the people as well in our workforce, making sure that our employees and our students have the training and the vocational skills they need. Since I believe that was the reason why we were outsourcing it to different countries, since they have all these strong systems set up. And I think that's a good opportunity to bring in here. It gives us more control on the supply chain, on the security of the products, and the quality as well, since they would oversee the whole end-to-end cycle here, from the design stages to the manufacturing to the execution. I think that it's time that we finally bring it here, bring it home, and focus on strengthening not only our economy, but our community as well. One of our partners is Fuji Corporate America, and they have the line of state-of-the-art and next-generation machines that they've kindly donated to us and the colleges that we work with. We work with Queensborough Community College and Suffolk County Community College as well, in which we're implementing multiple programs. Level 1 is free for any qualified participants, students, new technicians, even experienced professionals, and allows them to learn all sorts of things, learning about how to operate the machine, how to take care of the machine, the maintenance, the troubleshooting. And more importantly, I think that it's a great opportunity for students to learn, problem-solving skills, teach them how to be resilient and how to really gain these sophisticated skills that they can carry with them through, multiple jobs, multiple positions, and across different industries as well. Electronics, of course, and, manufacturing, all these terms are so broad and there's so many different things you can do. So we are an OEM and a JDM. So we control the entire life cycle of the product. There's so much work, love, and care that goes into the manufacturing of a product, starting from just the design and innovation status. So I'm a director of operations and innovation. So we control and we do a lot of market research on, okay, what are customers' demands? What are the carriers like Verizon? What are they demanding? What are our clients' needs? What are their preferences? So first, that's just research that a lot of our team does. And then how can we take that and create a product that our consumers really need, and what fulfills, a problem in the industry or in our community? We manufacture everything from headphones to phone protectors to mobile hotspots that have such great connectivity. It's a student in a library that doesn't have Wi-Fi that's working. You pull out your hotspot, you can use it. So I think that it's so multifaceted, and there's so much opportunity and growth areas for growth as well. If you want to be part of the design, you want to be part of the innovation, you want to be part of the market research, or even learning how to operate these sophisticated machines, there's so much opportunity. And you can really, if you have, even one job from there when you come into the pipeline, there's nowhere that you can't go. Of course, there's a first for everything, and, we're the first company to actually bring it home. So I think that sets a great precedent for not only the businesses, but also the local communities to get involved. Anyone that we've spoken to, be it a partner, a carrier, a local community, a local business, there's no one that's not excited for this opportunity. And I think that this really creates a great inclusive environment that's very people-driven as well. And it invites people from so many different industries and so many different communities that can come and be a part of it. benefiting the entire nation, the entire country, and ultimately the entire world as well. So our mission is actually to bring very high quality connected devices, right? And I think that bringing manufacturing here allows us to control the security and that quality in the supply chain, ensuring that we provide the best possible solution for consumers, making sure the devices, are functioning perfectly. All the market research, our customers are here. They're living in this country. They're our neighbors. They're our heart. They're our family. And they're the needs that we're trying to fulfill. So what better than to manufacture the products right, next to them and where they are? It'd be much easier for us to understand their needs and kind of create products. And the other side of it is also investing in the people. Like I said, in my speech, I think it's really important to equip students in the workforce. You're only as strong as your team. So if you give them the tools that they need, I think that it's great to create a stronger future for not only the company, but for the community overall. We're really excited for this opportunity. I think that Queensborough Community College and Suffolk County Community College, they're just the beginning. Ultimately, we want this program implemented across all the local colleges in New York and, of course, expanded throughout the country as well. And this is a wonderful start, I think.
That was Devishi Narula, helping lead the effort to build not just advanced products, but strong partnerships with colleges and community programs that can fuel America's next generation workforce. With Project Patriot, Orbic is showing what it takes to rebuild America's electronics supply chain. Strong public-private partnerships, long-term workforce development, and a serious commitment to making things here again. And that will do it for the Manufacturing Report this week. To learn more about Orbic and their work, you can visit www.orbic, that's orbic.us. A special shout out this week to our summer communications intern Sarah from Ohio State, as well as our own Kat Adams. Together, they caught the audio and video stories of this special occasion.